The second thing I want to get into is, how do we get a green card, right? Simple question. Well, the answer is, in order to get a green card here in the United States, you do something called an adjustment of status. You came in from Senegal 5 years ago as a student on an F1 visa. Now you've married a U.S. citizen, you have a bona fide marriage, you're going to file a green card application. And I want you to see what this application is. So we have photocopied some of these 485s for you. Marsha's going to hand some of them out. This is for you to see what's in the application, because it's not mysterious. It's not magic. It's a form that you fill out that asks biographical information. So if you go to an attorney or someone's helping you in the community, you can look at your own form. You can get someone to translate it if necessary. You can get control over your own green card application. This is it. It's a few pages, asks biographical information. So this is the green card application. Now, when you file a green card application, it has to be based on some relationship. So either you've won the DV lottery, you married a U.S. citizen, you have a child who's now 21 and wants to petition for you, you were granted asylum, and now you can adjust status. This application is processed by the USCIS, okay? This is processed by the Department of Homeland Security. You're filing this with some photographs, you're filing it with supporting documentation, it goes to USCIS, and it's processed, okay? That's the way the green card application works, but it has to be based on something. So you'll see, just on the first page, there are different categories. There's an immediate immigration petition, a family petition that's available. You came in from Senegal 10 years ago with your visa, you met the woman of your dreams, you fell in love, you got married, and she happens to have a U.S. passport. Maybe she was born in Senegal, but her parents brought her over when she was a child, and she got her green card and then became a citizen. Voila. Or she's here, born in the United States, and she's of a Senegalese descent, or she's from a Puerto Rican descent, or whatever, or just simply been here for many years, but she's a U.S. citizen. That's your immediate relative. That's a family-based petition. You would file this application. You won the DV lottery, and you can adjust. Same application, but it's based on a different basis, okay? That's the green card application, all right? So now you all have that. You can see what it asks. So again, you are familiar with what is going on in your own immigration case. I do want to say something very, very important. If you file anything with immigration, I want you to use this, okay? This is from the U.S. Postal Service. It's a certified mailing receipt. So if you do a FOIA request, you say, oh, I would love to have a copy of my immigration file because I don't know where my papers are. File it, but file it certified mail. Costs you just $2 or $3 extra. But it's going to prove that you actually filed something. You file a work permit, do it certified mail. That's how we do it, so we can trace that immigration received the application, they got your money order, and it's processing. If you don't file it with this, it could have gotten lost in the mail. It could be sitting on someone's desk at USCIS who went on vacation, or it, things happen. It could have fallen behind their desk in the government's office. They deal with thousands and thousands of applications every single week. So for your own security, anything you file with USCIS, please use the certified mail. It's really, really important. And you can do this yourself. You don't need a lawyer or anyone else to do this, okay? So that's the green card application. Now, how can we get a green card? Let's talk about marriage cases, because that's a very popular method of getting green cards in the United States. And it's a very legitimate method. Nothing wrong with that. There are certain things you have to understand about marriage cases. Immigration is not out to get anyone. Immigration is not there to trick you. Immigration just wants to see if you have a bona fide marriage. In the United States, a bona fide marriage is a marriage contract. It's a social contract, and it's an economic contract. If you're married, you're sharing money. If you're married, you're sharing time. So don't come and tell me your wife lives in Minnesota, you live in Florida, and you travel every weekend to see her. It's a long flight. Realistically, you're not sharing time. You may love each other, and someday you're going to be living together, but I'm going to have to show that you're really spending time together, okay? So it might not be the right time to file the green card. Wait until you get that good job in Florida, or she gets that good job in New York, and you guys can live together. Okay, so it's a bona fide marriage, sharing money, sharing time. Sometimes I ask my clients for photographs. You say you've known each other for 5 years, and you do all this traveling? Show me. Because if I see you've traveled to Disney World with her children, if I see you went to Las Vegas, or you went to Ohio to visit your aunt, and we have pictures of birthdays, even here, you have birthday parties, right? You have religious holidays, right? Show me these pictures. This is going to strengthen your application. And that's what a good legal advisor will tell you to do. Share your money. You don't have to put all of your money together. You can have your own bank account. She can have her own bank account. But you have to show that you're both sharing some money. Okay? This is important. One other thing we sometimes ask for, life insurance policy. If you're working for a company, sometimes part of the benefits are life insurance policies or health policies. So the beneficiary would be your spouse or your children. Okay? So in order to be successful on a marriage case, it's got to be a real marriage. I do not recommend on any terms anyone get involved in a fake marriage. I know it happens. I know some people have come to me and said, you know, my friend said she wanted to help me and I got involved 5 years ago, but then we never went to the interview. I hear all kinds of stories you can imagine, okay? Immediately, I tell them, find her, divorce her. Cut your ties with the woman. You won't be free to marry someone else if you happen to meet the person you really want to love, or the person that you're really living with and has 3 children in the house with, right? So as far as you can run from a fake marriage, my recommendation is to do that. And I'm giving you my honest advice. My advice is for you to do things the right way, because I believe you can do things the right way and you will be rewarded, okay? So with regard to the immigration status based on marriage, take those notes. You will have a marriage interview, and Marsha's going to tell you some of the questions that are asked when you go to a marriage interview. You've seen movies about this, like Green Card, where they sometimes separate the husband and the wife, and they ask funny questions. So Marsha is one of the attorneys that actually prepares you for that marriage interview. It's actually a fun process. I myself married a foreigner, an Egyptian, so I had to sit in the interview as the client, which was crazy because I kept trying to be the lawyer, and the immigration officer was laughing, you know, but asked us simple questions about being married and how we lived, etc., etc. And some of the questions I said, yikes, I don't know the answer to that. But the response was genuine. He didn't know half the answers to the questions. So, but the response was genuine. You're not necessarily going to know every single thing.